Well said. All right, we got some more chats here.
And I also want to say too, and I think this is one thing I've noticed has played, because at this point now we've interviewed
thousands,
over 1,000 girls on this show, and one thing that I've noticed that kind of plagues girls is what Rollo was saying before, like the paradox choice, and this is very common for girls that live in major cities or girls that are very attractive, where they're getting men hitting them up of all kinds, whether it's an athlete, a musician, a lawyer, a CEO, whatever it is, high net worth individuals,
podcaster,
right? And they're consistently dealing with the top 1% of men, and they're thinking, well, these guys are common. And what they don't realize is that these guys, number one, are not that common, and then number two, are they going to take you seriously for a relationship? Just because a man hits you up and says, let's go on a date or let's hang out, doesn't necessarily mean he wants to wife you. And I think a lot of women make the cardinal mistake of thinking, well, he's hitting me up, which also means he probably wants to court me and or take me serious in the future. I don't think women understand that, like, sexual attraction is not the same as relationship attraction. And as soon as you figure that out, then you're going to be able to quickly, filter out the guys that just want to have a good time with you versus the guys that want to take a long time with you. If that makes sense. So I think that's something a lot of modern day women struggle with. And then women in major cities that have access to a lot of successful guys also struggle with. And you were saying, well, and I don't mean to pick on the girls that are here at the table, but the reason why girls don't necessarily have to work on themselves or why they don't have to necessarily improve on things that they know deep down are hurting them is because they have a lot of choices. If you have a lot of choice, why the fuck are you going to self-improve? That's like me. If I was a fat slob and I didn't really, improve myself and I was still getting my dick sucked by bad bitches, well, why would I go to the gym? Why would I go to work on myself? And unfortunately for women, and I'm not trying to say you guys are fat slobs or whatever, it's just that women just exist and get attention. They just exist and get, offers. They get, opportunities that a man would have to bust his ass to be able to get. I'll never forget Fresh, right? And I love to use Fresh as an example because just to drive things home. And this is a good example. So Fresh, right? Very successful guy, popular podcast, has music out, all that shit, verified, Lambos, millionaire, all that shit, right? He can barely compete with a 19-year-old to get into a section at a club. Think about that for a second. I want you to think about that for a second. Like, he had to bust his ass to be able to even sit in a section with rappers and celebs like he's doing now. He's doing it all the time, every night. But he had to bust his ass to get there. Meanwhile, you're sharing that table with 19-year-olds that haven't even accomplished anything. 21-year-olds that haven't done shit. And I'm not saying that to shit on women, but I'm just saying that is the inherent value that women have simply by existing. And I think women kind of make the mistake of thinking, oh, well, this is going to last forever. I'm always going to have a guy. And that's what he's saying. Hey, the lights are going to come on at some point. Are you going to leave the casino while you're up, or are you going to keep playing, hopefully you can get, that big win, or are you going to leave in a deficit? And I would argue most women leave the casino either in a big deficit or without any chips at all. Nowadays
being more broke than what they came in with.
Exactly. Facts.
Leaving with a whole bunch of cats.
And it takes longer for a guy to mature into his success and into his peak potential than it does for women. And that's the dirty trick right there. That's why the bag closes at 29, 30, 31 years old right there for women, because the guys who when men have what makes them the most attractive, whether that's looks, money, status, whatever it is, it takes longer for a guy to get to that peak potential than women when they are at their peak potential, which is like, 22, 23, 24 years old, when they're like the girls in the club, 19 years old, who didn't have to do anything to get there. The guys who are there, they're the guys who took a long time to get to that point. They had to have some talent. They had to have some drive. They had to have something else going for them that put them in that peak potential spot.
And the scary part is like, even with all that, you're not going to compete with an attractive 21-year-old. You're not. Like, she's gonna have more options than you. You take if you take an average girl's Instagram, right, or her dating profile, she's gonna have more options than the top 1% of guy that's attractive, money, all that other stuff, because that's just how it is, man. Women control the dating market, but men control the relationship market. And I think that's where kind of women make the mistake thinking that they control the dating market, and you don't. It's the guy that picks you.
But it's funny because like the lifestyle that these women have just for being pretty or just being there, like, it's addicting because it's a high. Now, here's the problem though. It's so good and so much fun, they don't realize time is ticking. And once time ticks too far, then the gates are closed. But what happens is you'll see 30+ women in the club still dressing up like they're young, but those guys are gonna choose younger, hotter girls that come to the club. So
okay, wait, I have a question. So do you guys agree or disagree? Because I know there's a saying now that the women are saying that 30 is the new 20. Like, facts.
No, that's a thing going on right now. Yeah, people are going like 30. That's they're starting to see that like once they get into their 30s, that's their prime because they didn't get to do a lot of the stuff that they were supposed to do when they were in their 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So that's whether you're taking your times in your 20s properly or if you're just wasting them, that's on you.
I wasted my 20s in a relationship trying to make something work that never worked. I'm about to be 30. I look and I feel better than ever. I think I'm peaking now. Yeah.
You probably are.
Well, here's the thing. The problem is that you think, but just because you might feel that you're peaking right now doesn't necessarily reflect reality. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but you're not going to be able to compete with a 21-year-old that you might have been able to compete with 10 years prior, because men are attracted to certain things that just it's just male nature. You want a guy who's confident, successful, ambitious, able to provide a certain lifestyle, right? Men want a woman that's young and attractive to share that lifestyle with, So men thirst trap with their lifestyle, women thirst trap with their body. So I'm not saying that you're very attractive, but let's be honest here. You at 31 isn't going to be like when you were 21. You're not going to be able to compete with your 21-year-old self. That's the way it is. It's just biology. And unfortunately, men are attracted to youth and beauty. It's always been that way.
So I'm curious. If you've been a guy now, right, that ticked off all the boxes, successful, good looking, cared about you, wanted you, and kind of gave you whatever you wanted, would you step out the game now and go with him or no?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm good. I've done all the partying. I've done all the clubs. I went to Dream before it was called, what's it called now? Exchange.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
That's
I went to Play before it was Ivy, before it became
Cameo.
Right now it's condos. It got knocked down. So yeah, I'm good. I did all I have to do.
I just want the women to know that, they say that, right? And I'm not saying this to pick on you because we brought other girls on too, and you still got time, so don't feel bad.
I don't.
Barely.
It's like a Chris.
Okay.
No, but here's the thing: it's like a lot of girls think like, okay, 30 is the new 20. We say all these things to lie to women. I always say when you lie, women buy. We live in an economy that is, run by women. 80% of the consumer base is women, right? Instead of telling women, hey, you're a fat fucking slob, you need to lose weight, we tell them love your curves, you're perfect the way that you are. We don't tell women the truth. There's an economy in not telling women the truth. And that's the truth. Like there is a big economy in not telling women the truth because women live in a Disney fairy tale. You guys are pretty much raised in a way where you're accepted no matter how you behave, how you look, how much you weigh, whatever. Men though, you can't do that to men because if I tell you, hey yo, fresh man, love your curves, nigga. We got you. You a king no matter what.
You a king.
You a king no matter what.
You a king.
Hey,
Fresh.
you can be broke, bro. You can be broke. You will get these bitches anyway.
Fuck the Lambo, Fresh.
For real? But why can't I say that? Because if I say that and Fresh goes out into the real world, they're like, hey, baby, accept me how I am. Don't money shame me. And he ain't gonna get no chicks. But women could turn around and be like, hey, don't fucking body shame me. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to body shame you. Because there's gonna be some simp that's gonna accept you no matter how you behave.
Yep.
But with men, it doesn't operate that way. If I'm a loser, reality reinforces that I'm a loser. My experiences reinforce that I'm a loser. So you can't lie to men. They have to self-improve. There's no way around it. And we lie to women all the time. Hey, 30 is the new 20, baby.
I was
Don't
going
worry
to say,
about it.
Myron, when's the last time you heard some guy say, you know what, 45 is the new 25?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of
Get out of here, man. Get out of here,
Biology.
So, and I'm not saying that guys
aren't saying
we're gonna
that.
look good at 45. I'm not saying that. As a guy, men only reach their peak if they work for it. Guys typically hit their peak around 35, 40. But that's only if they go to the gym, they get their money on point. If not, then you're just a broke old nigga. Nobody cares about you. You still got to do the work as a man. The beauty with women is that you guys at least get your bag, okay, up front. You guys get your bag up front. With men, you have to earn your bag, and you might not get it.
Men must become women to star.
Hold on.
You already know.
Hold on. So Chris,
Don't worry, girls.
Chris, video.
Yep.
I always say women are trust fund babies, men are self-made millionaires. So that's what it is. But you got to do the work to be a self-made millionaire.
Which one, Fresh?
That one.
Yeah.
This one?
What was that?
That video? That clip doesn't look right.
Which clip?